2025 at 6 p.m. Calling the Lakeville Board of Health meeting to order. Is there anyone in the audience recording this? I see no one. LakeCAM is recording this and will be available for showing. First on the agenda, 27 Reservoir Ave, meet with Foresight Engineering to discuss requested local upgrade approval. Darren Michaelis.
Darren Michaelis, Foresight Engineering, here on behalf of the property owner. We've got an existing tank underneath the deck, an existing leach pit in the backyard. So all the plumbing leaves underneath the slab, and it's a walkout dwelling, finished basement. So we proposed a system in the backyard. Unfortunately, we're within the 200 feet of the tributary, which is the reservoir for the golf course. So that's our variance request to 144. And the new tank will be probably about 150. You can see all the wells are on the front of the property, so there's not too many options.
Okay. It is an existing 3-bedroom.
They'd have it listed as a 2, but it's a 2 upstairs, and it's a full finished basement with full egress and windows beside it. So, and the house next door has 5 bedrooms. It's the same size house. I don't see how you can't count the basement as a full bedroom. So we're designing under the minimum of 3. So we don't need a deed restriction.
Yeah.
Nitrogen loading, we'd be allowed 7 if I was to squeeze the system out in the front corner with a pump, but the tanks would still be within the 200 feet, so we can't ask for that.
Okay.
For increase in flow, so.
And did we have anything in the file, Ed, on the old system, what it was designed for? I didn't have the file on that one. Just to-
Yeah, I know it says 200, but a leach pit is designed for 400 gallons a day,
Right.
especially in the sand that it's in. So I don't, like I said, it's 2 bedrooms upstairs, with the basement's a full walkout on the bottom, and it's got a slider right there with windows right next to it. It's a full finished basement, so it's a bedroom. And the house next door is listed as a 5 with the same size house. And that was just repaired a couple years ago.
Yeah, as long as it says where it was there. There must be something back from the early 70s. The original system that was here, these were the original.
Yeah, I know the permit says 200 right on it, but there's no way a leach pit is ever designed for 200. I can provide that data. It's 456 gallons a day.
Yeah, so it does say 200, but that's not the, that was the minimum flow. They said, the minimum flow
Right.
was 50 and then, 200. So they never actually did the calculations to see what the total capacity of the tank is, the pit is. So they just never did it out. They just said, okay, this is the minimum flow, and
Yeah, it's an 8-foot pit, 6-foot diameter. So, and the gravel there is beautiful. So
yeah, it's a 12-foot diameter.
Yeah.
with,
it's a huge pit.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to just make sure.
Yep.
Just where you.
Yeah, I
ask
mean,
for a
I wouldn't
variance
ask for
if
the
it is
full
increasing
4, but
flow, as
yeah,
long as it doesn't say, and we're gonna just count the rooms.
right.
I'm fine with that. That was one question. The only other one, you might have been able to get it up front by the road, but I didn't know if there was more wells across the street or anything.
Those rolls are all in the front yard.
On the front yard across
Yeah,
there.
and then our tank is still within 200 feet either way.
Either
so
way, the tanks are gonna
we're
be.
asking for a variance, and we're running a pump line all the way up, and
Right. Yeah, you'd have to add a pump.
yeah.
And the only other one, I don't know, I think it's okay, but I see where you did the perk down at that 82 grade, but we have an 87 contour almost at the edge of the stone and pipe.
Yeah,
Walls were at
it's-
48, but that's not
It's-
consistent. That's
Right, it's a pretty
pure
steady
sand,
grade.
correct?
Yeah, this is beautiful sand. We didn't see any
That
evidence.
whole hill
of,
is all sand.
Right. And the same with the one next door, that exact same material, called water, about the same distance, 7 feet, right where they were digging, so.
Yeah, 'cause you're down near the pond at pond 76.
Yeah, they're right where that retaining wall is. They're a little bit further down the hill than we are, so.
Yeah, I think I did that one. So
Yeah.
I know that's.
Yeah, we show that fence there, that's the back of that system.
That system, yeah, right by that.
So it's almost the same elevation. Ed and I had that discussion when we were out there, because we were at the bottom of the hill.
Bottom of the hill, but you're catching.
But we're still higher than the wetland, so it shows that it's a pretty consistent, and up across the street, we don't have any water table over there.
At
so.
all. You agree with that, Ed?
I do.
Okay. That was my only other concern, where you were 5 feet less than
Yeah.
2. If you carried 4 feet down from that 87 contour, the bottom of the system is a water table, but
Right.
it doesn't
Right, no,
follow the
that's
contour.
definitely, if we see something different at bottom hole, we'll obviously adjust it.
Yeah.
Because we have plenty of pitch here too before they put anything in. If they dig the bottom hole first, we can verify that.
Yeah, it just doesn't really follow the contour there.
No,
It just
it's
goes
pure
down
sand.
and it goes over.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, it's like raining gravel when you drop the bucket.
okay.
Gorgeous.
Those were my only two that I had was,
I'm okay with it. I didn't see anything else.
Ed, did you have any comments on this one?
I
didn't
do
see-
not, no.
Anyone in the audience want to speak to this one before we make a motion? Just know I'm fine with it. Anybody wants to? Want to?
Make a motion, we approve the sewage disposal system upgrade design for 27 Reservoir Ave with the 2 local upgrade requests for setbacks to the tributary.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Have a good night.
Thanks.
Yep.
Next on the agenda, 1214 Morrison Way. It's continued from the July 16th meeting. Meet with Zenith Consulting Engineers to discuss requested local upgrade approvals. I'll turn it over to you, Will.
Will Connolly, Zenith Consulting Engineers. So the site has 2 houses on it. Both are serviced by their own separate well and septic. The septic for number 14 is a cesspool located over here. And there's an existing shallow well, 14 over here. And then number 12 has a leaching field, and I believe a deep well. The shallow well is currently not operating, so we're proposing a new well for number 14. And given the site constraints, we are not able to get over 100 feet from both the septics on the site. So we're requesting a reduction from 100 feet to 70 feet for number 14, from the well to the leaching field, and then from 100 feet to 75 feet for number 12. So I think that's about it. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, a couple of questions on this one, Will. Are the owners here on this one, or are you speaking for the owners on this one?
I don't believe the owners are here.
Okay. Do you know what their, does this family live in these, or do we know who's in these houses or anything to do? Any idea?
I don't know.
What?
I believe, yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is.
Okay,
If we could somehow contact them, I mean, the situation there, especially with what they have there now, where you have an existing cesspool, it's most likely in groundwater next to a shallow well, which most likely, within 50 feet, that's a serious thing. So just somehow inform them that not to drink their water.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, we've been contracted through the well driller, so we haven't really been in contact with the homeowner, so.
right, and I think we should probably send them a letter on our own anyway.
yeah, we can
just
send
'cause
them
it-
some, but if you, are in contact with them, just, to do that as well. Just
Yeah.
So they make sure they get the message.
Yep.
Yeah, because we scale to that well and it's not even 50 feet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
it's
automatic.
close.
You failure, you shouldn't even be drinking it.
Yeah.
And the other one's a newer deep well on number 14?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how new, but I think the plan from '93 called it out as a deep well.
Okay. Just a couple more things on this one. I mean, the well is about the only spot you can put it. We had you move it a little bit further, I think, as far as you can put it now. Actually, I still have, this is the old plan. Do you still have the new plan? How many copies of the new plan did we have?
You don't have the new plan?
No, this is.
Yeah, we keep the old plan.
Maybe this
Yeah,
is.
so you should have got a new plan too, so this,
This one could be it. This one, see.
This is the new one, I believe.
Void superseded. This is the old one.
yeah, if it says void
Yeah,
supersede,
this
that's
says
the old one.
revised on it. This one I have there, if you wanna look at that one.
shows the trenches coming up on that one, okay. So back in our folder, I know you're just asking for a well permit. Now to install a new well. But obviously we need the variances because we can't get 100 feet from the cesspool or the septic on lot 12 and lot 14. So you're 80 feet from the leaching trenches on 12. You're 75 feet from the cesspool on 14. The cesspool, I mean, I think we can even, without even going out there, think that's in failure in the groundwater. We're pretty sure the trenches, at least I'm pretty sure the trenches on 12 are in groundwater. We pulled out this, shows peat, it showed weeping at 28 inches. We had a plan come in 93. All the way back from 1993 to put in a 2,000 gallon tank and tie into an existing trenches. It was approved, but from there we had nothing in the file. Going out there now, it looks like that 2,000 gallon tank is there, correct?
Yeah,
It
that's
was put
there.
in.
We actually had someone camera the leaching fields, and pull swing ties for the location and everything, so
Okay.
it looks similar to what was shown on that plan as far as the leaching field.
Okay, so we believe it was put in, but we were never contacted. There was never an inspection in the folder. There was never an as-built.
Yeah, and that plan doesn't show any trenches. That's where I got confused, because I just saw a tank in there. There's no.
The note says hook up to them, but they're not
Yeah,
shown.
but they're not
it's
shown,
not
so I
shown.
just
Yeah.
assumed that it was just a tight tank initially, but,
Right. So there is a note to hook up to the trenches, but when you look at the models where they did the test work, I mean, you have water at less than 2 feet in the ground, so there's no way those trenches aren't in water. I mean, so obviously that one's failed also.
Right.
So they're both in the groundwater, and they're both failed. We have a letter in the file from a previous agent, Larry Perry, that they sent in certified mail. This was back, I can show you the letter, it was dated March 25th of 2016. What did you say? I had a couple of them. So we sent him a couple times. It says your septic system was found to be in groundwater in 2004 and should have been repaired within 2 years prior to new ownership. It appeared that you started the repair process in 2004 but failed to follow through. Please contact with us within 7 days.
Has it changed hands then?
That was my next question. Do we know how long this owner has owned this property? Has this ever been sold?
Does it have
or-
a name on that one? Is it the same as what's on the plan? David Mann? Or Doug Mann?
Dear Racy Morrison II, trustee.
yeah, so the original owner was Ray C. Morrison in 1976, and then he sold it to Ray C. Morrison II in 2011. And in that situation, assuming it went from one family, a father to a son, they're not required to
Upgrade.
upgrade.
That's in Title V.
Yeah, so it went from Ray Morrison I to Ray Morrison II. So yes, it did change hands.
So is the name on the plan the well driller?
Yes.
Or, okay, no, that's just throwing me too.
So it's still owned by the Morrisons.
Yes,
Okay.
still owned by.
All right. So I guess now we have that. So we should send I think we should send a letter to them, just knowing that their wells, the septic's in failure, and the wells should be tested. So obviously on these, so we have to drill a new well. We require nitrate testing on the new well. We don't have to do gross alpha. It's not-
No, but there's a regular parameters, it's a number
All
of
right.
things, but that any new well, needs to be tested before we can allow it to be, used.
Okay. And then if it does come back high in nitrates above 5, these systems are an automatic failure. They need to be upgraded.
Okay.
Just so you're aware that
Yeah.
that triggers it, automatic failure. And also with systems in the water table and the wells that close, obviously. I don't know if they're renting them or not, but we wouldn't allow these to be rented with systems in the water table and in failure.
Yep.
Again, it might just be family cottages, I don't know.
Was the new well gonna service both houses or just one?
Just the one.
Just the one?
And then also, yeah, if they were rented, we have a list of what we need to do for rental properties.
Yeah.
The wells need to be tested yearly.
Yeah, yearly testing for any rental property.
You need a pass Title V. You can't have a failed system in a rental or Airbnb or any of that. So as far as, like I said, it still notes in the file, the septic's in failure. Obviously, the owner must know it. Unless it comes back to nitrates, I don't know if there's anything. I don't like issuing a well permit to put it into failed systems, but you need a well,
Right.
and it's gonna be better than what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have comments or questions.
Well, like you said, it didn't transfer, but I mean, unless that comes back, that's the only trigger we have to make them
So-
upgrade them.
Or it's high in nitrates. when
Yeah,
it's well
if it
tested.
comes back, then that's the other level we have, sale of that.
So, Will, how did this come about that they wanted to do this anyway? Because the cesspool was so close, or like?
No, I think the well dried up.
The well
or-
dried up?
Yeah, so they haven't had water for like, I think over a couple months now, so
Is it year round? Or the,
I don't know.
As a well, it's probably
I mean,
year-round.
I would imagine.
It's not seasonal. But, and I think at least we should send a letter just stating that
Yep.
until that well's gone in and find out, just let them know that their systems are in failure. I'm sure they're aware of it. It's the same owner or families.
I'd attach copies of those previous letters too to that if you could, when you send it out.
And even, different types of assistance. You know,
Yeah,
the state, rebate on the
Betterment.
tanks.
Yeah,
and
the
then our
betterment, all that, yeah.
options too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options.
So they know that there's options to help them with that.
But I looked into it as much as I could to see it. We have to issue a well permit, that there's no way around it. Unless they're selling it or they're renting it, we just keep letting them know it's in failure. Right? Or if it comes back in nitrates, it's a definite, must be upgraded. There's no other way we can.
I agree. Like it or not, it's the law.
Is there anyone here to speak to this one? Ed, did you have any other comments on this one?
I did not.
As far as the location or testing?
Alright. You got my plan, so Chris will have to make it. So-
So, I give you that,
I make a motion to approve the new well plan at 14 Morrison Way. Well, it's 12 and 14, but the new one's on 14. With the 2 local upgrade approvals, and then just the contingency, we send those letters about the other issues on the property.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
He's not going anywhere.
You can sit right up there if you wish to speak at one of the microphones. What's that? Okay. Yeah, they will, tell you when, if you have any comments.
All right, next on the agenda, 125 Hackett Ave, meet with Zenith Consulting Engineers, LLC, discuss requested upgrade approvals and variances. And I'll turn it over to Will.
Will Connolly, Zenith Consulting Engineers. So the site is, it's bordered by Long Pond to the west. It consists of 2 parcels, the one here with the house on it, and one across the street. The existing cesspool, is located kind of right next to the house. And we're proposing a 1,500 gallon microfast tank, 1,000 gallon pump chamber, both H20 monolithic, and then a sloped Presby bed, which is going to be across the street. We pretty much pinned it as close to the property lines as we could to keep it as far away from the pond as we could. And we also were able to keep it outside of the 100-foot well radius from the abutter. So we have a number of local upgrades and variances, which I can go through. We're requesting a reduction in the setback between the septic tank and the property line from 10 feet to 5 feet. Increase in the depth of the septic tank and pump chamber from 3 feet to 6 feet. Reduction of the separation from the inlet and outlet of the pump chamber and septic tank and high groundwater from 1 foot to below high groundwater. A reduction between the leaching field and the surface water supply from 400 feet to 260 feet. A reduction in the setback between the septic tank and pump chamber and the surface water supply from 400 feet to 110 feet. And then a reduction, a variance for the reduction in the separation of the inlet and outlet of the pump chamber and septic tank and high groundwater. So there's kind of a lot going on here, obviously, on this property. We pretty much stuffed the tanks, the only place that you can really fit them. And this entire front yard just kind of works up grade, so that's the reason for that request for the.
Now, you did monolithic because you're down so deep. How are you gonna seal the pipes coming in where you're gonna be in the water table?
I believe the tanks will typically come with the rubber boots molded into them.
Rubber boots on those.
And yeah, like I said, we pretty much pushed the system as far away from the pond and that abutting well as we could, so I think that's about it.
There's no way to change the plumbing at all, or is it gonna?
So in order to replumb it, you would have to rip up that entire patio in the front.
Okay.
If they even could. It's a crawl space, so I don't know if it's even possible.
I assumed that depth it was it was a basement. I mean, like,
Yeah, the grade just drops off so much
Yeah.
right there. It's
Yeah, I went by and looked at it. There's no room there at all. It's very difficult. Even to get them tanks in where they're even drawn is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah.
Power lines right there. You got the overhead wires split the two tanks. You're down a 4-foot drop right at the edge of the road to another drop. It's very difficult. The only thing I don't see, Will, was the cover. Sometimes when we get this depth and we're underground water, we call for the risers to be made into the top. With them screw in gasketed riser pieces with the flange already made into the tank, so it's sealed already in one piece.
okay.
It might be an option where this is 4 feet under the water table over the top of the tank. It's crazy.
yeah, I mean, or even just old school concrete them in and stack them on top of each other. I mean, I don't
Right,
know.
that's where they used to do it, but they're tough to seal because the concrete cracks
They break
over
down
time.
over
That's true,
time. They
too.
crack and they break
The
down.
ground freezes, thaws, they move, and tank settles a little, and concrete.
Ugly to get into.
I mean, you put the pump way up in the riser, which I've seen before, so you can reach the pump up close to the ground and you just pull it out. Because you can't get down in the tank through the riser. Yeah, I looked to try to see if you could get the tanks in the backyard, you within 50 feet to the well radius, to try to come out the back, because you can get down this side a little, it'd be hard, but you might be able to get around, but you can't.
And then you're also closer to the pond back
They're
there.
closer to the
Yes.
pond with the tanks, which you don't want.
There's no good answer on that one.
No.
I think it's kind of like the best you can probably do there.
No, and with all the advanced treatment too,
I'm just more concerned, like Derek said, about the tanks leaking.
Yeah, you don't want
Yeah,
to leak and
I
pump
hear you.
groundwater
I
into
hear
the
you.
system, it's gonna fail. So it's just it's critical that it's,
So for the manholes that you say they're built in, is that also for the fast systems? You know, could
Yeah, that's
that-
what I was curious about as well.
Is there a way to make that, I mean, the regular typical manhole I get, but for the fast, I don't know.
I
if
don't
that-
know. I don't know.
You don't want to pump it dry in the high groundwater table, in the tide water table over here.
I think they are. I believe, I just did them in
Cause it's just a
Westport,
big square that they cut, right, you know, with the,
where they drop in, but that's, this one's an internal
Yeah, it's
mount.
internal mount, so it
So
has
it's
the
not the
standard.
drop-in one.
okay.
So this you put in and then you put the cover on. And
But how do you do that on a monolithic?
it's still a monolithic tank.
Oh,
but it
just
just
the
has a
cover.
flat 6-inch cover that goes on top of the monolithic tank, once you put the chamber inside, the treatment inside it. And the cover does have them made into it. I just did it in Westport. They had them made into it.
Okay.
I mean, the guy came out and just kept screwing gasketed collars until the height we wanted. So it was sealed all the way up.
Okay.
It's just very hard to put something on top and throw concrete around it and seal it. It's next to impossible. And well, you know these are so far underground, water runs out there
Yeah,
4 to 6 months out of the year.
I agree with that. Other than that, though, I don't know what else you can change.
Yeah. Thinking of you looking at it too, if they had to for this, microbats.
Yeah, because they have to come out, I think it's yearly they test microfast, is what they come out?
Yeah, just once a year now.
Yeah,
for
so
a
they have to,
repair.
it's a pain for them,
Skinny
but
ladder.
you wouldn't get down in those.
Yeah, no, they
They're probably
don't,
doing,
they don't go down there,
You
they
wouldn't
just,
get
they
down.
just
they're
scoop
doing
a
the,
sample.
the winch, and you go down on the harness.
Yeah.
They do take samples, but they have a device to take the sample, they're not going down in the tank to do it.
But if
And then
something went wrong with the equipment in there,
it's a huge problem, because you have to dig off all the dirt on the tank, you have to take the cover off the tank, you have to get down to that chamber and fix if it clogs or anything goes wrong inside that.
Fortunately, fast are pretty simple, it's
Just a
just a blower, most of the mechanical stuff is actually outside.
okay.
top.
And then, so it's just basically a pipe going in, so
Make
it's
sure,
not
make
too.
sure they don't turn the blower off. Make sure it keeps running.
Yeah, it's just little plastic fins inside that thing,
Right.
corrugated plastic.
It's just the aeration.
Yeah, most of, like, the mechanical stuff that breaks down, is most of it's outside, so
Okay.
that's one advantage to it.
And did you show that it blows up by the road?
Yeah.
That's not near the neighbor's house? They're all real tight, yeah, they're all very, very close.
yeah, we kind of tucked it as far away from the house and
You know, I
just
saw that it's
inside
like
that
right off the
fence.
edge of the road there.
And you got a slope Presby with a retaining wall, 4-sided, and everything is difficult in this job.
Yeah,
Very, very
it's
difficult.
gonna be a tough one.
Is anyone here to talk to this? Anybody have anything they want to say?
Well, as in the butter,
Yep.
I've been on our property for 75 years.
Which house
Good,
you live
yes.
at?
Could you just state your name and,
David Boyd, Voye, 127 Hackett Ave.
thank you.
And groundwater is a annual issue, major issue. And so as in a butter, I was appalled when I found that the only septic plan for that property was a hand-drawn sketch by Bob Dowling in 1965. And that, I have never seen that cesspool pumped out.
Probably never has been, probably been better.
And it's uphill from their well. So obviously, everybody would benefit. The lake will benefit if this is a valid thing to be doing. As an abutter, 5 feet from that, for that tank, from our property line, which by the way, happens to be a gutter to carry the groundwater past both properties. to the lake. I've seen rapids in that culvert. So I have, the questions are, digging and having had almost exactly the same system put in our property. We had the second Presby system that was installed in Lakeville. Everything was dug up. And 5 feet from the property line in that culvert, how are we gonna prevent a problem with that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Are you leaving that culvert intact when yours is done?
Yeah, I believe it kind of ran right down this fence line, right? It's just kind of like a gutter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it just like a paved swale or?
Yeah, kind of.
Now, why are you asking for that tank variance when you have room to move it another 4.2 feet over close to the pump chamber? Why wouldn't you move it over further away from?
I think what we were trying to do is just reduce the length of that run because we have so many bends in it. We'd be creating like a U shape because
Yeah.
you'd need another clean out and 45, and then you'd add another, whatever it would be, 7 or 8 feet of pipe.
You could turn, slide it closer and turn it, or no?
Well, like you said, you'd have to move it this way, which you could, but you're adding, they got a 45 right into the side of the tank now. They're trying to eliminate another 90, which,
Yep. I have the same question about how the piping gets
Turn it over.
from the crawl space up to where it would go into the 1,500 gallon tank.
so it's jammed right between that house, those propane tanks, and that fence, coming up there, and it's tight. I don't know
Yeah.
if you even get a mini down there. I went there at 4 and looked at it. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
6 feet.
and especially where your depth, you're coming down. I mean, you're talking that trench is gonna be 7, by the time you get towards them tanks, you're pushing 6, 7 feet into the ground. And you're 75, and that contour is 77, so you're not quite that deep. Oh, no, that's ground elevation, 70, 92. So 71 to 78, 77, 78, yeah,
But I mean, that
you're like
close,
7 feet in the ground.
is that tank gonna be able to be
Was the,
installed without interfering with that culvert?
egress from the crawl space, the depth
No.
underground. Is
Yeah,
that
so
a
I
known
think I should
fact
move
or
it.
it is?
Just because of the depth.
As far as what, the plumbing or?
Well, no, there's obviously a pipe comes out of the house
Yep.
and goes into the cesspool.
Yes.
Is the depth of that pipe verified?
Yeah, we got a measurement on it.
Okay.
We
All right.
field verified it, so.
How deep is the crawl space?
It wasn't very deep.
Right, so it's not like you could work in there. Or
No, so that was the whole reason we couldn't really.
I mean, I don't know, this one's a tough one. This one, maybe it's something, maybe you'd even want to go visit and look at that crawl space if they can redo the plumbing out the front.
I was just gonna say.
Because this is a nightmare to put the drum.
Yeah, but that's what I was asking, but,
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, sometimes when they say crawl space, it's
Right.
like that, and
Yeah.
other
It
times
might
you
not
got
be
5,
feasible.
other time you got 4 or 5 feet.
But if it is feasible, I would highly entertain it should be done. I know it's a plumbing cost, people hate to do that, but
I think this is also like
I
a.
mean, it's running
It's
the
like a
pipe outside or
concrete
running the
patio
pipe
in the
underneath.
front.
It's either one or the other.
I don't remember how tall it was. The patio in the front of the house here.
yes, there is a patio.
So I think they'd have to
You're gonna have to damage. the
hammer
patio.
that out and.
Yes. You have
But
to
either
put-
way though, I'm gonna want the tank moved because you can't go that deep and not interfere with that culvert that's draining his water. And I don't wanna I don't wanna interfere with that swale if that's running that much water. So if it can get moved over,
Yeah,
one vote is gonna be to move it over.
We could shift it over.
You have the room, you can shift and get away from that, but they still have to dig the pipeline like he's concerned
Right.
about. I mean, it's on their
Yeah.
property, but it's gonna be very difficult. I mean, you're gonna have to turn around, put the dirt behind you and move it and put it all back. It's a very, very
Yeah.
difficult.
So I'm not sure what kind of equipment could even fit in there.
I'm with you,
It's gonna be a little machine, it's gonna take a long time. So,
It's already a very small.
And everything
height.
is so tight in there. It's very, very tight.
Yeah.
Are you the actual owners?
Mm-mm.
No.
We're
Okay.
butters on the other side.
Okay, so we haven't got to you yet, okay.
Yeah, they have a different problem than I
Yeah,
do.
so you're concerned about the water running down that culvert?
Well, that, and, there is a statement on the plans, which I have a copy of, that says decommission per the,
Title
Title
V.
V.
right. I can't find anything in that document that defines how to decommission an existing septic system. So I got a question. What is that decommissioning? What has to happen?
You might be able to answer better than me in a situation like this.
You have to pump out the old cesspool, you have to find it, pump it, and crush it, and fill it with sand. You can leave it in place, it doesn't have to be removed. Some
Okay, so
cases, it
it's
does.
just crush everything
yes.
and fill it with sand?
Yep, and we'll want the
That will
pumping
be
wreck
brought
in.
in wheelbarrow at a time.
That one, I think you're gonna have a
Like,
wheelbarrow, or
like-
they make a little, they call it a dingo on tracks with a little scoop in the front. I think that
Okay.
this project might come into play with one of those, cause you just can't get there. You can't get over the walls, it's.
Okay,
But even
I
to,
used to install, Derek still installs, and I don't think either one of us would want to do that job.
it's a, out of a 10, it's a 10 on difficulty. It's,
I've got one other question. The microfast tank, what is the equipment that's in the 1,000-gallon portion of it?
So you mean this year?
Yeah,
So that's basically just, like you were saying,
plastic trash can.
yeah. And so that,
Expensive plastic. trash.
and basically air just gets pumped through that,
okay.
which breaks down the bacteria.
24/7.
Okay, yeah, we don't have that because we were much
Before
earlier
you did
in
a
the
Presby.
Presby system.
Yes, so now,
So-
and that blower does make noise, so it makes a hum. That's one of the,
Okay.
sometimes we do
I'm
get,
more concerned with odor. Now, is that pumping air in or is it pumping stuff out?
it sucks air in through a 3-inch, I believe, and then it blows it back out a vent, which will be right near the blower. There will be a vent, but from what I'm told, and I have installed these, they say once the system is up and running and working after a month or two of operation, there is no smell coming out of that. That's what the installers tell me. I've asked several times. At
Okay.
first, you will get a smell.
Okay,
Until this gets up and running and the bacteria gets in growing in the tank, the smell goes away. It's not supposed
all
to.
right, so
That's
it's
arguably the
in other
best
words,
system
it's
for that
pre-
type of property.
processing before it gets up into the Presby pipes.
Correct. It just
Okay.
keeps the bacteria growing in the tank.
Right, there's
Great.
other vents for the system up by the field too, so like, the air gets blown in, hopefully the air is gonna follow through and go out that way too, or whatever. Once it's working the way it's supposed to work.
So
Okay.
the
that
design, you
explains
should
it.
not have a smell when it's working.
I'm an engineer by training, so I come up with a lot of questions.
So that was, yeah, I think,
Okay. How about you guys? You guys got any questions?
I also have a question on the dewatering
yep.
pool that is defined there.
Yes, I think conservation, as part of conservation's part, Will, they make
Yeah.
a dewatering thing.
So that's groundwater that, or surface water.
That's when you dig the hole to put the tanks in. The septic tanks, because they're so deep, it shows it's way below groundwater. So if you have to put a pump in that to pump out, you have to pump into a dewatering pit. To conservation, they want that shown.
Catches all the sediment.
Okay.
So you just can't let it go down the hill, and it's all eventually gonna go down the hill, water runs down the
Yeah,
hill.
because there
You
is
can't
a
stop
culvert on the other side.
Yeah, and you wouldn't wanna pump it into the culvert, so you
Yeah.
pump it into this dewatering and try to contain it the best you can. In this case, on this property, I mean, if you've lived there long enough, if they did it this month, end of this month, next month, how dry it's been, you can ask Will, I don't think you'll hit water there. 'Cause it's
Yeah, I would definitely recommend to do it in September or August. If
yeah.
not this year, then next year, but it's, like, if you did it in the
I mean,
spring.
water
it would
just
be
kind of
it would
runs
be
down that
bad,
hill.
Yeah.
Cause you know it's
Kinda.
near, you know it's near the pond water. I mean, bottom of the tank, I think it's around elevation 70, the pond's at 53.5, 53.8 right now. So we know it's near the pond elevation. This is just the water from the sky falling can't get through the ground and it runs in the D layer
Perched.
and just runs
Perch
down that
layer
hill
runs
like a
Okay.
river underground.
And right now the pond's down too, so now's a good time to do it.
Right. But the ground's so dry, it's like powder. You dig in the ground, it's literally powder. So they could probably dig down that depth and not even find it. You don't even have to start a pump up,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. Because you don't
I
want,
was quite surprised to find sandy soil up where the Presby system, because everything on our property, 50 feet away, 2 feet down, is cement, otherwise known as glacial till.
Facial tilts.
Yeah, that's
Not
what
the
we
good
found.
tilt.
We found that as well.
Okay, how far down?
What was it, like 2.5 feet? Yeah,
There's no sand
Yeah.
up there.
yeah,
No.
it's sandy loam.
Yeah, they had to take a
And they
sip.
did a sieve, which came back as class 2 soil.
two.
Well,
yeah, it's called a sandy loam, which makes it sound sandy, but it's not.
it's not.
Well, it's sand if you have something to pulverize it.
Yeah,
But just so you know, Ed witnesses all those, nobody just gets to go out and make those rates themselves. Ed's witnessed every single
Okay.
park told.
I think I've got the answers to my questions. And,
My name's Edward Stats, 121 Hackett, my wife Susan. My basic concern is that the location of their Presby system. To my ability, if needed, to put in a septic system on my back lot, like they're doing. I've talked to Ed quite a bit, and he kind of assures me that that's not a problem.
Septics can go right next to each other. You gotta stay away from the well.
But he wants to put a well out back.
Okay.
And by putting this septic there, he's not gonna be able to.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that was
he's-
our original concern. We have a dug well down by the lake.
Right, which is even harder to get to, I think, on your lot.
Yes.
Try to go home.
It's showing
All
it.
you see is your
Yeah.
roof from standing at the road.
Yes,
It's crazy.
right. So we've lived there since 77 and we've had water and we have it tested every other year and it's been fine. But should it fail, we don't have a place to put another well.
So you're hoping to use, because you have a lot across the street, like these people, you're hoping to put it way up back.
Well, that's what
Okay,
we
so-
hoped for,
Yeah,
but
that's
Ed
their
informed
property
us
and
that
they're down here.
it needs to be 100 feet
Got it.
away from existing septic systems. So the property south of us, the Cuderies, they have, what do you call it, a mounded septic system?
That's
Right next to our property line. So I don't know if there's a place up there.
That's the one in the middle of that.
Right in here.
About.
So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
theirs is, 100 feet wide and they have septic fields on, well, they have one on one side now and now they're gonna have one on the other. So it's gonna basically eliminate the ability for them to drill a well up here without a waiver, you know?
You guys are right next door? Right?
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
looking at this correctly, because there's a different name here. That's why I was just.
No,
Well-
they're one over here.
Well, they're one over.
No, yeah,
This
they're-
lot, if you drew a line in, this lot goes with this, these people do not have a lot across the street.
Oh, okay.
This
Right.
looks like a double lot, for some reason, this one ended up,
So
because they used to be the
where's
same.
the system right next door? Is that
It's right out front.
here?
Sitting
Okay.
right there.
And then they got a well here.
They're
But
well-
your system now is like behind, is like in your front yard, right?
Which system?
Your existing septic system now.
Septic? No, it's right next to the road.
Right next to the road
It's right
here.
with these people,
Right.
yeah.
So it's gonna be-
Right there.
pinned in
So, but
between
you
all
can
three.
move
And
theirs across the street. Put the well up front,
That's
up in
what,
the corner.
you know, because you should get the system as farthest away, like Will is designing, which I agree. Their concern is they can't get a well truck down to where their well is.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's good.
So that's why they thought they would put the well where you can get a well truck. This is an open lot. But that's where the septic should be. It's, and their lot is even harder than this one, if you can believe it. It's it's a drop.
And we have an acquaintance, who used to work for the DEP. He looked at the plans for us to see if he had any issues.
Yep.
His question was, because this is a treatment system, does it require a groundwater discharge permit from the DEP's Division of Water Pollution Control?
This is
I'll
too
turn that
small.
to Ed, the engineer.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's,
Did you not
that's
open it
for
down?
something that, with a much higher flow rate. This is, what, 330 or was it?
It might be 440.
440 gallons per day, which is a pretty, which is what they're using now, so there's no increase in flow to what they're doing now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's what, over 10, well over 10,000 a day, right? For-
Yeah, it's over 10.
For
Groundwater
discharge.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot larger. And they do, for something like that, you do have to do a much, higher level of treatment. And like I said, they are doing pretty good treatment here for a residential system.
So that's,
I don't know.
That was
Somebody
his-
needs to start a company with a, you know, a floating drill rig. And just
Right.
come in and do all the wells on the pond, on the shoreline for everybody.
yeah.
Ed was saying, I've seen drills on tracks, I just don't know if they drill.
I mean, I've seen geotechnical stuff too,
Yeah, they do,
My line of
they use
work.
them a lot for blasting. Like
So-
they just crawl up a ledge and
Yeah.
start drilling into the ledge and blast it.
So there are different companies out there, New England, Mass Geotechnical, there's a couple places I've seen. I know there's one company I know, they do ag wells.
Oh, really?
Different requirements than drinking water wells, so that's why it's a little bit easier. They don't charge the same as,
But are they big drilling rigs or small mobile?
they
something
do,
that
both.
can
they
get
have
the-
both.
And they can get down
They have
retaining
a
wells like
small
this?
rig, and then they have a mobile rig like that too.
So there's, with the plan we have, without piecemealing it all together, I can't tell swing radiuses to see where they could have a well, or how, if they could even still get one over here. Because we can give you a variance down to 50 feet to put a well, like the earlier one on the agenda, we had to give variances, they were 75 feet
I was
and
listening,
80
yeah.
feet. So we can grant down to 50. We try not to at all costs, so we are allowed to grant a variance.
Now, would it have to be an artesian well, or,
We do have a reg that we don't allow point wells anymore, correct? But
Yeah, you
On
you don't actually have to drill into ledge though. You can get a smaller machine that can just drill through soil, because I think ledge is, you could go a good 40, 50 feet before you hit the ledge. So you can get, I think right now it's only 15 feet. So any increase, and also they could case it as well, would be a huge improvement. So you don't actually have to go drill into ledge. There's nothing that says that, but like I said, the old point well, no, you're not allowed, but you do have small drilling rigs that can go another 40 feet.
But the point well is just a local reg, it's not a state, they still allow points for state drinking water? You can still do them.
Point, the definition of a point well is you're basically just hammering it in.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you're drilling down and you're, like I said, you're not required to go into the ledge, you can just go into the overburden and still be a legitimate well and a legal well. So you don't have to do that. You don't do point, because most of those are only like 15, 20 feet. Because after a certain point, you just can't hammer anymore. But if you're augering or something like that, where you're removing the soil, you can usually go a little deeper.
Jim Norwood used to do a lot of those. He used to put a screen at the bottom of them or something when he didn't hit them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's,
Do you guys own 2 lots across the street, or just the one?
2 25-foot wide lots.
So it's 2, because I see Sarah's name on one. Is they both
Yeah,
Sarah's?
that's the stats.
I-
These are
She's
the
our
stats.
daughter. She's
I know,
the
my sister
trust-
went to school there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Amy,
Okay.
I think she actually played softball way back then.
Okay.
so, going back to their well situation, so there's no way you can get a well truck or anything by your house down that embankment
Mm-mm.
Not by
to the
the house.
pond side? There's no
Could
way
approach it, but
possible. Because to even come up, now when you come up the hill, you're gonna run into the septic, you're gonna be within 50 feet of
Right.
that neighbor in the middle, there's no getting away from that.
Part of the reason I asked if it was the 2 lots, that gives you a little bit more space. Like you get space like this now as opposed to just the skinny lot, right? So maybe there's a little bit, when you start playing around with circles and swing ties, maybe there is a little bit more play out somehow. to get the system further away and maybe move it.
But didn't you say there's another septic out back here, Ed, up on this hill already?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
just,
Never mind.
Yeah. there's another septic.
east of Hackett, there's a system as well,
Up on the
and
back.
there's another system, west of Hackett, right? 123 has a system west of Hackett, and 119 has a system east of Hackett, so you're really sandwiched in there. It's a tight thing.
And anyone that's been redoing them that has a lot on the other side, they've been putting them to the back farthest you can, most feasible compliance for Title V.
They do their system in the front. I don't know.
And
Yeah,
this-
you're really gonna have to get it all surveyed when it's time to do it, and then you'll get a better
You
idea.
can find
And like I
a
said,
spot
it's
right
very possible
there.
you will have to
It's
grant
just
some
100
type
feet
of
from
waiver,
here,
because
100
I
feet
don't
from
think
there,
they're
100
gonna
feet
get
from
100, maybe they'll get 50 though.
And as far as this system, the way it's proposed, there's nowhere else they can even put this.
Yeah, and like I said,
Not like-
it is a positive to most people in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, it is a negative to them, but, you know, it does help out, the majority of the people in the neighborhood. From a health standpoint, you are improving the well quality for the rest of the neighborhood. And you're improving the well quality for them too. It's just gonna deny them a spot to do it. But like I said, there are,
But it's also, you know, not as far as your well, but I don't know if your septic is one of your originals, if yours is close to failure. I mean, you have a spot to put it right up next to this one, to be most compliant, where it should be near these others that are going to the back property. And somehow, it's just a lot, that lot in the middle, it doesn't have a place across the street that's really hampering everything.
Mhm.
You're just sandwiched to where your well is.
yes, their current system, it's better than here. It's not just a cesspool. They do have a septic tank pump chamber, and they're pumping it up to a pit, which is right by Hackett Ave. So it's an improvement on what the neighbor has, but it's still,
So
you know,
probably
it's still a
the
pit.
groundwater.
It's still a pit that's in, you know.
Yeah, the water's at 28 inches. Yeah, so as far as seeing where you could do it, it's the most feasible spot for this house to put it.
Right,
There's nowhere else they can really put it.
right.
Again, it could give you a variance to see where you could get a well at the time. You know, you'd have to map out all the septics and have a plan drawn to see where you could put it down to 50 feet. It's bare minimum.
Mhm.
I don't,
We can't do that process first?
probably not, I don't think it works that way, Ed, I don't.
What do you want?
We-
You want to get a well in?
They're already.
No, can we look into it? Can we look into, is there another possible place to put a,
Yeah, you would have
Trail well?
to, you would have to get what they were talking about, get all your neighbors' septics located first, and then the person or the engineer could find the best available spot.
so we hire an engineer?
Yeah, you would have to do that first before because we're just kind of guessing now and scaling.
Right,
It's not
right.
really
Yeah.
the most
And
accurate.
you'd probably want to do that if you're thinking about replacing the well too, anyway. Just for property line issues and stuff to make sure all the setbacks are met too, so.
Well, I think that's mainly what you're concerned about right now is your well, not your septic. I mean, even though you're gonna
Well.
need a new septic, it's obviously.
In our discussions
not gonna
with
pass
Ed,
Title V, but
Yeah.
Ed seems to think our septic system will fail. If we tried to sell the house, it would fail. So, we're thinking we should get the septic system moved also
Yeah.
and improved.
You can do
because then it gives you a little more room to put your
Mhm.
well on your lot, because your septic's now at least
Right.
across the street up here,
Right,
and now you just have to conform with one neighbor's septic, that one in the middle, and try to get as far as you can. And then
Right.
obviously, if you did a septic, you're gonna be in the same boat there. You're gonna have to get tanks down near your house, you're gonna get pump tanks, you're gonna have to.
we have tanks.
Yeah, they're not quite as bad, as in, it's not coming out, like you could hook into their existing septic tank. You wouldn't have to go all the way to, like,
How
where
old are
they're
they?
going down
No, so
here.
they have a newer system, it's not old.
Yeah, they have a septic tank pump
77.
chamber and then a pit going up, so it's not a cesspool. So if you put the old tank where the new tank is, I mean, the new tank where the old tank is, I mean, someone got an old tank down there, so I'm assuming you can get a new tank in there too.
Okay.
Um,
But that's something, you know, you could have a Title V done. It's not a lot of money, but they would tell you if your system's working and try to determine the groundwater, and then you know if your septic can pass a Title V. But if, you know, if you have one done, they're obligated to turn the report into us. So we would know that your system's failed.
And you
They have to
know,
notify us that doing.
and you know there's an engineer that's already been in your neighborhood and done perk tests and done survey work and all kinds of other stuff that you can, might make things a little bit smoother and easier too.
I've got one further question. Plans are wonderful. They work perfect on paper. You'd be amazed at the size of the boulders that are gonna come out of that property. And I know that ZCE is not gonna be doing the construction, somebody else is. And we'll be living there day by day. If we see something that is a problem to us, do we come to the Board of Health?
You call the
Yep.
Board of
in,
Health
he'll run right
office,
over.
and it'll
Yep.
come out.
You call Lakeville Board of Health. Yep, if you have see
Okay.
anything that you think should be questioned,
I can give you our number before you leave.
Ed will come out and, you know, if they're filling the ditch
Okay.
with dirt and they're
Hopefully,
pumping water down.
everything
over your
goes
lawn.
perfect.
But what
And it would if we lived in a
what
perfect
the
world.
authority DEP gives us is to make the best possible situation on the property. And there's a lot of times, there's no good one, but there's some better than not. This is way better than what's there. It's a good system, because if we don't, then the town gotta go around and start condemning houses, and, cause you can't stay there without a septic system, the town has no money to do that, so we're tasked with, that's why DEP doesn't get involved. They, you know, all the easy stuff they keep and all the hard stuff they leave up to us, but that's the only other option. Now, knowing the septic was failed, if we don't find a way, which this is, in my opinion, the best possible way they could do it, then they gotta have the house condemned, and the town has to pay for it, and, right now, this is, you know, we're taking a really bad situation and making it a lot better, even though, again, I was an installer for years and I wouldn't even bid on this job. This is gonna be a lot of work for whoever does this job. But it's gonna be, at the end of the day, it's gonna be way better, but I am gonna want that tank moved so we don't disrupt the swale though between the properties.
And the only other thing, I don't know if you noticed that condition of that upper wall right at the edge of the road. It's already, I think it's just blocks, the way it looked, like cinder blocks just stacked there. I'm pretty sure that wall's gonna get totally damaged,
Yeah,
end to end.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna have
And
to
it's
dig up for
holding
the force
road
main.
Pavement, I believe, it's almost right to that wall, am I correct? So I think it's something you're gonna have to look into, or, it's already leaning, I mean, you're gonna have to get a machine over the wall to start with. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to
so it's
fill
gonna
over the
be-
wall to get a crane truck under them wires. And I think the wall's just gonna collapse.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's gonna hold to get over it to do the job.
I agree.
And it's not
So-
shown on here to redo that wall.
maybe just note to, yeah,
Um,
wall to be reconstructed, something like that.
I don't see how you're not gonna damage it, and the road's in pretty good condition too, it's a tough job, I think the wire's gonna have to come off the house, there's no way you're gonna swing a machine with them wires there, but you can't take down the road wires, so you have to deal with them. And the two trees in the front yard have to go, the walkway has to go,
Yep.
everything has to go. The amount of dirt you have to haul out to dig that tank hole, where you have nowhere to put the dirt, and get all that dirt out, it's a major.
Well, I can be thankful for the storms in 2010 because we would have not had the Presby system. And the Board of Health chairman, when I told him our problem, he knew my father, he said, I know that system, it's failed. And it had, badly.
Yeah.
Who's that, Bill
Yeah.
Garvey?
So, $130,000 later, we now have a fully
compliant system.
good system. So I'm happy
Yeah.
that that property will have a good system, assuming that it can be done
Right.
without damaging other things around it. So
Who was the
that's,
chairman back then? Bill Garvey?
pardon,
Who was the chairman back then? Bill Garvey?
who built it?
Who
No,
was the
Bill-
chairman of the, Board
Hey,
of,
you-
I
talking
can't think of
about-
his name
Oh,
right
okay.
at the moment.
Bill Garvey?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
He trained me. He
And
was
he
still,
had
he
the
was still the
first
chair when I
Preston
got on. I was the young guy on the board when I got on 15 years ago, and he was the old guy with some knowledge, so that went by really fast to become the old guy on the board, I'll tell you.
And I was
Those things
actually
happen.
appointed to fill his position.
Yeah.
When he left.
Yeah.
Well, his term, when he left 13 years ago.
All right,
All right, so other than the swale and making some kind of note about moving the tank and making some kind of note about that wall needing to be reconstructed, I don't know what else we can add to
so
it.
I have a feeling.
The only thing I'm still leery is if that pipe can come out the front.
Yeah.
I just, this is just it's a brutal,
Yeah,
I mean,
Is it just
Yeah,
paver
patio.
stones?
they want
patio?
the pipe to
I
come
didn't know
in.
if it could come out the front.
Is it
Oh, yeah.
paver stones?
I think
It's
you
an old
understand
patio.
Patio.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Field
It's
stone?
not an easy
Yeah,
one,
no, you're not
so.
gonna match it, you're not gonna be able to pop
There's
it
a
out.
tank
It's
over
gonna
next
get
to
damaged to come out the
cement.
front, but I don't
what,
know if it's worth looking at, Ed, or just,
between,
Whether you can get into the crawl space?
and actually see if it can be
they're
replumbed, come out the
proposing
front,
putting a tank.
raise it as high as
5 feet from
possibly,
that.
raise every.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to,
And make it-
like you said, you want the tank moved, right? So you're gonna do a revision anyways?
Yeah,
Before you do that, can you send someone out there to just, at least take some pictures to say, okay, this is why we can't do it? And then once, if it's clear, if it's only whatever, 8 or 9 inches, then, and not doable, then we can say, okay, it's not doable,
But
but,
at least we looked into, especially
Yeah.
where the abutter is very
Yeah.
concerned about the swale and the water running down, and
yeah,
it might actually be end up cheaper to refund to come out the front than honestly trying to do
yeah.
the cost, and however you're gonna get down that side is.
No, and at the end of the day, like, I think you could maybe shift the pipe too on coming up the side and turn the tank this way, perpendicular to where it is now, and slide it over and then come out the side of the tank into the pump chamber.
The problem is then you're getting deeper because you're
Yes.
working your way
Yeah.
uphill.
The hill comes up steep, it really
yeah,
is.
you want the tanks parallel with the
The hill.
contours.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, it's,
Yeah, that wall that you're talking about at the edge of the road
Yeah.
is the edge of the right of way.
so they may have to lose a penny
Because
on
the
that.
telephone pole
Yeah,
that sits on the edge of that wall
yeah.
is in the,
It's
in
right
the right of
there,
way.
correct.
So,
So I don't know if it's something, are they in a hurry to do this? Do they need an approval tonight? Or if we continue it till we get a couple of things? Just to see. I'm just
Is it
concerned about
something
the
that could be
wall out of the road.
conditioned, based off us looking at the plumbing? And then obviously we would love to make it easier for everyone too.
You can approve the waivers they're asking for, and then, later I'll approve the plan, based on your recommendations. But like I said, I don't think, does anyone have a problem with the waivers they're asking for, like right now, like,
Again, I just
No, I
want,
think there's nothing
like,
else.
if you guys look, or you go whoever, make sure it really can't go out the front, and then, either way,
Yeah, so-
either way, I want that tank moved.
so every waiver except for
Except for the
the one to the property line?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just don't approve that waiver, but you can approve the others.
All right, so which number is
The
that?
one for the tank to your property line, they want that moved further away.
Yeah,
the
it's
first
only-
one?
It's only 4 feet.
Is that the first one?
Other one, yeah,
Septic tank,
Yeah.
Yeah,
10 to
first one.
5.
it is.
Yeah.
Variance request number 1. So we want that pushed to 10 feet.
Yeah. I mean, can it get the whole 10? I mean, if it gets
Yeah,
9, I'm
you're
okay.
I mean, you're 5.8
No, you
now,
get-
so it's
yeah.
just another 4 feet.
All right,
4 point something feet, especially where you're gonna have such a big overdig for something that deep.
yeah.
That tank's
I
gonna be,
wouldn't mind
that hole's gonna be
moving
huge.
the bed.
Oh, yeah, there's
You
no
might have
way.
to pull shoring in. I
To,
wouldn't do that without shoring, I wouldn't even
inlet.
attempt it.
Yeah.
But to even get shoring under them wires, Estimate
Yeah,
big enough to lift a Sherman box. you
Those are
need.
gonna
It's-
move along.
Yeah, and
because
you got,
they wanna-
you have 8 feet
So-
between the two tanks, between the
Oh,
pump
okay,
chamber
so you got
there.
plenty of room then.
Yeah, and you only have to move it
You only
forward.
need two.
Yeah, there's a fence between you guys,
Right,
right?
so,
Yeah.
that's
They really
6.
So at least be hidden behind that.
No drainage down there's an issue. I don't wanna mess up the swale.
And I think that should be in a motion to make sure that the swale is not filled or impacted to the right, or the retaining wall up the road will need to be addressed if damaged at all or replaced during construction. I don't see how you're getting over without damaging it. I think it's next to impossible.
Yeah.
It's just gonna fall over, it's just blocks, it's not gonna hold a 20-ton machine.
What about putting another retaining wall, on the other side between the tanks and, the roadway?
Correct.
So that would also lessen the, like, once you're building it, that, rather than putting the 6 feet of cover, you're putting 4 feet of cover, and then you have a 2-foot retaining wall, like right 2 feet off that tank. And then you come up, rather than kind of, because right now they have it kind of going gradually down, so just come up sharply right after that. That way you lessen some of the depth over that.
You could lower the grade over the tanks.
Yeah.
But there's actually a bunch of walls. There's a fire pit. That block is actually a brick fire pit, I believe, with a brick wall coming there. That's all a retainer wall, that lower one closest to the house. That's a big, huge brick fire pit down low. So you could cut it down to 77. You can't get lower than 77 unless you rip out that whole wall in that fire pit.
Okay.
You'd have to eliminate that, move that wall behind that wall. And there's all stone patio.
Now you're destroying everything.
You're destroying that whole yard. I
I'm
think that was one
surprised-
reason why they
I'm
didn't want
surprised
to
the owner's not here because
re-plumb it.
the fire pit is crumbling.
Right.
So I don't think they would mind
if it,
doing away with it.
Well, it may fall into the hole they're gonna dig when they
Yeah.
get that tank.
yeah, when you're down
They're
7
selling
feet.
it anyway.
You know that for a fact?
Well, no, I don't.
Well, that's my other question. I mean, if they put in this septic system, it's all installed, and then they sell the home, and the new owner wants to put in a foundation, is that possible? With this septic system that you're putting in, can a foundation be dug right next to those tanks?
For what?
What, to
For,
raise,
if they want,
to raise
the new
house?
owner who buys the home wants to build tear down the houses there and put in a foundation.
They should buy it as is and not do this repair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. they
Tear
should.
everything out and do brand new,
Start.
Yeah.
straight from the
but
start.
They would have to put in a foundation
Right.
because it just.
But then they could raise the
space.
plumbing.
Yeah.
Then they could do a lot of
That's true.
stuff, because then the whole yard's getting tore up anyway, and then there's a whole lot of
Yeah.
options.
Do you know,
It
do
may
you know if
actually-
the new owner wants to tear down the house?
No, I don't even know if so it's the niece of the deceased
Right.
who now owns the house.
Right.
She lives in Maine. She's told us she doesn't want to move back to Lakeville. So we're guessing she's gonna sell the house. So it doesn't make sense to put this whole new Presby system in and then sell the house to who knows who. It's gonna be someone with over $1 million to buy the property, right? And
Yeah,
we're not
they
gonna-
usually won't do the system until it's sold too. More likely, I mean,
Oh,
although
so once they get
we
this
did say we
approved-
should do it now, right?
Yeah, they can just get the system approved and then sell the house based on,
Okay.
once it's approved, they can get an estimate. And then once the estimate, that's how much they know to take off, and that way the
Okay.
buyer can take responsibility for the
Okay.
septic, but it's good to know, to have a price, because
I
right
see.
now, the numbers
Yeah.
are kind of pretty wild, whereas if you have an approved plan, you say, okay, it's gonna be around this much. So just because they're approving it, doesn't mean that they're gonna install it right away. you
I
know?
see.
I don't know if that's the plan,
This
but
is very
I-
expensive.
Yeah.
Sue has a very good question there because who's gonna rebuild a house on a crawl space?
No one.
Right.
No, you
No,
tear
it
down.
wouldn't be
Tear it
legal,
down,
it'd be
put
a tear
slab
down.
in, go up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't do that, that's illegal. They have to they have to go through the whole building permit, meet all the new construction codes and all that stuff, so.
And then these tanks would probably come out because we'd make them raise the
Well,
plumbing.
they can't build
They
too
they would
big
just, that would be the
because
new buyers.
there's
nightmare.
now the 25% coverage requirement.
Yeah, you couldn't go any bigger. They're stuck
So
to
they
what's
couldn't
there.
go that big.
Yeah,
My neighbor on the other side has got probably 80 to 90% coverage on the property, but that went in before
Lot coverage.
law changed.
Correct.
yeah.
No, they just go up.
No,
But we can only look at what's ahead of us. We can't try
I
to
understand.
guess on what somebody might do someday.
Yes.
So is that it?
thank you,
Thank you very
gentlemen, for
much.
taking our
Thank you.
questions and answering them.
Right.
Well,
Thank
then,
you.
I'll make a motion then that we do not approve the first request that they asked for, the 5-foot
Thank you.
reduction, and make that 10-foot reduction, but that we approve number 2 through number 9. And we also have a note that the swale is not to be impacted between the two homes, the drainage swale. The retaining wall at the road will be replaced as needed if damaged during the construction. And that, we'll have to go and, confirm that the plumbing cannot be moved before, the final permits issued.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And any
Thanks, everyone.
questions, please feel free to call Ed.
Yeah, he's there full-time every day.
Yes.
Half a day's on Friday.
No, yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, next on the agenda, 23 Rush Pond Road. Meet with residents to discuss potential increase in flow at property. So I don't believe we have an engineer on this one. Talking to the homeowners.
Or a plan, right?
Or
Yeah,
a
there's
plan.
no plan.
No,
I think this is just
discussion in advance of.
discussion on what they're trying to do.
My name's Xavier Magia, I live at 23 Rush Pond Road. We're just looking to add a 2-car garage with a room above it. Before I do an engineer and an architect, I'm just trying to get approvals first. Make sure that I can do this before I spend all kinds of money getting it.
Now, the 2-room above it, is that more like an ADU accessory dwelling unit with a full kitchen, full bathroom?
No,
full-
we're intending on making it a bedroom with a bathroom, no kitchen.
But it'll be a full bath with a shower and a tub and,
Not a tub, just 3/4 bath, a shower and a sink. I don't foresee a tub. Right?
No, I'm putting it down.
just, but it will be a bedroom, technically.
Yes,
Bedroom
yes.
Yes.
and a bathroom. Okay.
I do have the plans if.
Yeah, we have the plan here.
No, he changed it.
Oh, okay.
On the current plan that you have, the house is totally wrong. So I've repositioned the house so you can better,
Thank you.
see what I'm hoping to do.
Okay.
And you'll see that the layout of the house is correct on this drawing, in accordance to the lot.
Okay,
You'll see where the
new driveway.
current driveway is, and what I'm looking to do is extend off of the end of the house, put the 2-car garage with the bedroom, and then the new driveway. I did speak to Mr. Beniz of the building department on the phone. He didn't seem to think it was, I think his name was Mr. Beniz, of the highway department.
Oh, about the curb cut, Frank Moniz?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's about the curb cut, yeah.
yes, the curb cut, yeah. And he didn't seem to think it was a problem. Again, this was just on the phone.
Okay.
But that's, this drawing is not really accurate to spec. Like where you see the tank right now, that tank is really at the back of the house.
Okay.
The whole, this is the best I could do. The current drawing
Yep.
is just really,
So this is an existing 3-bedroom house?
yes.
That's what's here now, so I guess the only problem, and you wanna keep the house 3-bedroom and go to 4. You don't wanna You don't wanna call it a 3-bedroom with a new bedroom above the garage is one of the bedrooms.
Yeah, just keep the existing 3 bedrooms, whatever exists, just add a bedroom
So you wanna
with,
add flow, okay. So technically, when we add flow, it's, even though your house is already there, it's considered, new construction, because you're adding flow to the system.
I understand that, I will have to replace the tank, do a whole new septic, so I understand that.
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure it's okay to do before I spend all this
Right,
money on,
no.
you know.
You know, that's understandable, so it's good you came in and, asked.
Right,
We don't want you
it's
to
like
waste any money.
exploratory
Yeah.
before we spend
So the
money.
biggest problem, I mean, I don't know if I need to get it clarified. So you only have 30,000 square feet. We do have a local reg that you need to meet nitrogen loading. So you need a treatment system to go to 40,000 because it's 110 gallons of flow per bedroom per day. So it bring your flow to 440 gallons by adding that bedroom, so you technically need 40,000 square feet of land to do that. On this one, we've run into, I guess, issues with this one from, we reached out to DEP before, seeing this is considered new construction, even though you're just trying to add a bedroom. They've come back to us and said, when you have wells in the surrounding area, you have to meet nitrogen loading under Title V for new construction,
Okay,
which you do not do.
well, by installing a new system, okay.
So that is what I would think I'd let Ed maybe reach out, talk on it also. That was just my idea to see if we could get clarification from DEP. If we could allow you to add a bedroom, seeing you're gonna do a D-night system, if that meets,
The DEP.
the DEP's Title V regulations of new construction of adding a bedroom, would that meet?
Yeah, I mean, I can reach out to DEP to see if they, would entertain it. They do allow it under certain conditions. And so I can give them these conditions and say, you know, is it allowable for us to grant a waiver, to do this, if providing you do a denitrification system and stuff like that, because that's what they do have the regulation that says you can go from, if you have a 4-bedroom and go to a 5-bedroom and you do a denitrification, you're allowed to do it. But it doesn't say you can go from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. It sounds like kind of a technicality, but we just want to make clarification because it's not a local reg, it's a state regulation. So we don't want to be granting something that we're not allowed to grant.
Right.
That's fine. Like I said, I just want to make sure, dot my i's, cross my t's.
Right, and I'm for allowing you to do it, but we can't supersede Title V and DEP.
Right.
Yeah, and if they say no,
Yes,
it is
but
what it is.
if
you
they
know.
allow it.
If they say okay, I'm okay with it too. I mean, you'd have to do the D-night and everything,
Oh,
but I'd be
yeah.
okay with it.
I do have a question, in your previous conversation, the D-night system, it has the airflow going in, and then I was under the assumption that the outflow was gonna be in the field, but it sounded like it's right next to where the pump is
There's
as well.
different kinds of systems.
sorry?
There's different kinds of denitrification systems.
Oh, okay.
So where the air is, you mean, where the air is coming out of the blower, or?
Where so you have the air going in,
Yes,
where is the pipe that the air comes out?
so it's right next to the blower, you
Ah.
backfeed it in the same trench where the blower pipe goes, and it circulates right around a circle, so it sucks in from the
okay.
blower.
I was under the
Goes
assumption-
through the tank, and it goes back, there is,
Yeah, there's also a vent on your field a lot of times, but.
Oh, okay.
so this one will have, that was a Presby system, so those are them funny looking vents you see around that are up to the sky. They have to have 10-foot separation between the low vent and the high vent, so you see a vent at 3 feet, and you see a wooden 14-foot 4x4 sticking in the air with another pipe 10 feet
If
higher.
they're lucky, they can stick it next to a tree and you kind of hide it.
So that's like secondary treatment, so they got a treatment in the tank, the D-night, and then they use a Presby system, which is another type of a treatment system that's approved by DEP, that's supposed to have airflow by itself from the elevation change. It's supposed to suck in, go through all the pipes and come back out on its own without a blower.
Okay.
and create air into the system to make the bacteria grow in the pipes.
Yeah, I mean, I whatever it takes, you
Uh-huh.
know, it doesn't matter to me. I just, if they approve it, let's say Ed sends the email and DEP approves it, what would be the next step? I would have to get, an engineer and an architect, the drawings, and then bring it.
Yeah, they have to do a perk test.
Okay, all right.
And, you know, you'd have to do the D-night because you don't meet nitrogen loading under our local regs. So you need the D-night.
That's
And then you could approve it. And
So
again, they do have ADUs, if you're familiar with the accessory dwelling units
Yeah, I read a little bit on
that
that.
they allow. So I mean, if the DEP let you put in this, it'd only be a one bedroom, but you could technically put a kitchen up there and make this a legal apartment. It's now allowed.
I hear you.
Just so you know, you know, if you're going through all that money, you can,
Yeah,
make an
You
apartment.
might wanna think about it, cause it'll add
Or
value
even
if
have
you
it
ever
roughed
sell
in.
someday.
Just have it rough, don't install it, just have it
Yeah,
rough in case
right.
everyone.
Or if she kicks me out, I can go in there.
Yeah, full apartment.
We don't need a place. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I think Ed, unless Chris doesn't agree, knows where we're leaning, so if he calls them and they're okay with it, I think he could start giving you the direction of where to go next.
okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, cause I mean, depending on what they find and all the other stuff, when they get an engineer and perks and all that stuff, they may still have to come back to us. for
Oh, yeah,
something
yeah.
else. Yeah, I mean,
We're not approving anything
Yeah.
now, we need a
No.
plan to get approved,
Right,
but like,
yeah.
they just wanted to know, should they hire an engineer?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, should we continue this just so if we get an answer, we can announce it on camera to anybody watching this? Or we'll just make an announcement if we get an answer and just let them know?
But like I said, we
Yeah, no-
can't approve anything or
There's
deny
nothing.
anything
It's just a
today.
discussion,
It's just
so,
a discussion,
even
so
though we can
until we get a
continue to
plan, we can't approve or deny, so there's really no reason to.
But we'll be
continue.
starting all over again if they come back with a plan.
Yeah, so then we
Great.
can,
So if the DEP approves it, I'll get the architect, the engineer, and get plans and then
Yeah,
start this
we
again.
only honestly care about the septic design and all that stuff, which you'd wanna do that first to make sure you can do it. You'd wanna get out there and do your perk test, and then spend the money on the architect drawings, cause if all of a
Okay.
sudden you have terrible perks out there and you can't increase your flow, then you spend all that money on an architect for nothing.
Oh, yeah, thank you, yeah,
yeah.
good
No
point,
problem.
good point.
I'm
Okay.
the old guy on the board now, I know that.
plus, I mean, you get the wells, you don't know where everyone's wells are gonna be situated, and that can affect where the systems go, and like we just went through with all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
hope,
so-
I don't think we're in their position here.
Yeah.
No, you get a little bit more space, but you're
Yeah,
still
'cause-
smaller lots than most standard lots in town
Yeah,
now, so.
right.
Yeah, because where it was coming from, it's considered new construction, so you have to fully comply
Right,
with Title V.
right.
We can't give you variances
No, that's
Yeah.
fine,
and allow you to increase flow. It's not
whatever
allowed.
you guys tell
So
me
as long as
is
you
fine.
meet, it's a, you know, and there are tight lots out there, so you gotta make sure you can get setbacks from everything, property
Right.
line, neighbors well, wetlands, and it
But I
fits.
mean, start with the call and then just go dig a couple of holes and see what you got out there. And whatever engineer you hire will be able to just give you a ballpark, like, yeah, I can make this work, or, you know, we need to spend some more money on this.
Okay.
And it could take, the DEP isn't the fastest. with
Yeah, but-
getting
Oh, I'm in
back.
absolutely no rush, absolutely no rush.
I
You know,
work for the state, I know.
I think
Next
if you get
year,
it back
year
within a
after.
month would be excellent. And that's what
Really?
Ed emailing him 3 times,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah, I'm in no rush, we're fine.
But at least it'll clarify if
Yeah.
it meets their criteria.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, have a good night.
Feel free to call back to the office to talk to Ed if you don't hear anything and you get nervous, just,
Okay,
he'll let you know where the update is.
Thank
We
you.
won't discuss it on camera again at the meetings.
okay.
Thank you.
I'll let you guys know the outcome of the email though.
Okay,
Take care.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, review and approve meeting minutes from May 7th, 2025.
You guys go with them?
Yes.
Absent. I was absent at this one,
Yeah, it was actually just me and you.
so that's why I did not read this one.
Then I'll make a motion that we approve the May 7th, 2025 meeting minutes as typed.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. Next on the agenda, discuss designated member to serve on ZBRAC. Did everybody get the email from Ed on that one?
Yeah.
They're reaching out, they want a member to be on the ZBRAC.
I'd just like to throw out, I did that for years until they disbanded it, and I used to actually have a lot of input to put in on that, so I'd like to do it again unless somebody else wants to do it.
I second that.
I third that.
Because you're already on, I forgot to mention the last one, they sent my name in, I think I talked to you on it, Bob, to the
It's a
old
town hall reuse committee.
reuse committee. They wanted a member on that.
Not yourself out.
So I'm on, they're looking to reuse the fire department, when the fire department moves out of the town hall, and what they can do with the space and the flow, and, because that is in a zone A, and it's a tough location to do there. So I'm on that committee. And you have
Turn the main building into a museum and then move everyone downstairs.
Yeah, you were on the MBTA.
MT, is that over, or is that was just a one?
It's
meeting?
so far, it's just one thing, so.
But if
It's
there's
gonna
a-
be more.
But you'll still.
It's gonna be a
going to
lot
the-
more.
Do you think they're gonna include us in anything they decide?
No.
They just wanted money from us, realistically. Which is funny, right? The state's asking for money from us.
All right, so this one, we should probably make a motion to appoint Bob
Right.
Palucci to the,
I'll make a motion, we appoint Bob Palucci as our Board of Health designated member for the ZBRAC committee.
second? Any
You want to do
discussion?
the town hall reuse? Sorry, I interrupted you before.
Second? Any discussion?
I
All
can't
in-
vote for myself.
I said,
Hi.
all in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry to interrupt you,
Yep.
but I was saying, if you did that, you also want to do the town hall reuse, just to make it official.
Yeah, because we didn't vote on it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an official committee, right? Because, yeah, the
Yes.
one I'm doing was I was just showing up. It wasn't like a committee.
This was an official committee for meetings.
Yeah, the town hall is an official committee, so if we
We didn't
since we're
vote on it. We
doing it.
sent my name over just in case
Yeah.
there was a meeting coming up, but if we want to make a motion to.
I'll make a motion that we nominate Derek Maxman to be our designee for the Lakeville Town Hall New Development Committee? Reuse Committee.
Reuse committee.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Okay, pending items, discuss Board of Health. Ed, any pending items, anything on mosquitoes, COVID?
Yeah, I saw West Nile in Nebej.
Nile?
What's that?
I saw West Nile test positive in Nebej for
Yeah, so there are definitely a lot of West
Triple E
Nile
in Bridgewater?
testing in mosquitoes. I think we got up to 94 now, kind of all over. We have 7 Triple E mosquito samples. We don't have any human cases of Triple E or West Nile at this point, so that's good. But yeah, we just, the Triple E, the 7 Triple E's, the closest ones are Bridgewater, Rainham, and Halifax. So they are in the area. You know, the first one was in Belchertown, so that wasn't really an issue for us. But now the last few have been in the area, so it's just, it's a concern. Lakeville is still low, but like, the towns I mentioned, as well as Middleborough, is considered a moderate risk now. So the risk is increasing. The end of August, beginning of September is the worst time for Triple E, and we're coming up on that fast. So just be aware.
But it's good that we didn't have too many positive samples this far into the year. That's better than the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, definitely, we're doing a lot better than last year. Last year, we had over a dozen at this point, so now we're down around 7. So it's, we have some, but it's better than like what Chris said about the last 2.
Now, they're still doing the spraying? Are they still allowing people to call in and go on the website and get spraying?
Yep, Plymouth County Mosquito Control still does spraying. You can go on our website to get their contact information, or just call our office and we can give you their contact. The town itself, we do sprayings, we don't do the sprayings. We request sprayings from Plymouth County Mosquito Control probably about every 2 weeks. We request a spraying, and they spray the parks and things like that. And by doing it every 2 weeks, we're maxing out. I think we're allowed 8 sprayings, and basically I spaced it out 2 weeks. So we're getting the maximum amount of sprayings, and people can do that at their home
Are they
as well.
doing John Pond too?
Yep.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Anything else to discuss?
Anything else, Ed?
Any
No, that's it for me.
announcements? That's okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.